Hello and welcome back. In this video, we are going to add the password controller. That is the controller that will contain the forgot password, reset password, and also the change password functions. Okay, so in the auth service, go to controllers and then add a file called password.ts. Okay, for this, what we need to do is, first of all, create the method that will send an email to the user when they want to request for the link to update their password. Okay, so export async function, and this will be, I'll call this create. For this, we can call this create. Okay, requests of type request. Okay, response of type response. This will return a promise of type void. Okay, now what we need to do here is we need to validate what we have in our request body. Okay, because the data we are going to send, we need to validate them, and we are going to use the email schema. Okay, so we are going to use the email schema. So I'll set this to email schema, import it, and then bad request, import this as well. Here it's going to be password create method error. Okay, then the next thing is get the email from the body, request.body. Okay, and now we need to get the user by email. So const existing user of type iauth document equal to await gets user by email. Okay, so we need that method, and then we pass in the email. So we want to check if the user with this email exists. Okay, so I can copy this, paste here. So if the user does not exist, so if nothing is returned, if the user does not exist, then I can say invalid credentials, because on the front end, the user will have to type in their email and then send, and then we're going to send an email to that particular address. Okay, so first we need to check if it is valid, or if it is existing in the database. Then the next thing I want to do is to create the random token that will be used. I think we already done that here. Yes, we already have it. So I will copy from the sign up, copy these lines, and then paste them here. Okay, so I need to import crypto. So import crypto from crypto. I'll fix this, auto fix this. Okay, so the next thing is we need to create a date variable. So const date of type dates equal to new dates. Okay, we are going to pass this into the update, or before then I'll say date.set hours. This is going to be date.get hours plus 1. Okay, so what I'm doing right here is just adding 1 hour to the token, to the date, which we are going to set as the token expiration date. Okay, so the current hour plus 1. Okay, so that is what I'm just doing right here. And then here I will use await and then say update password token. I'll call the method, and then we need to pass in the ID. So existing user dot ID. Okay, and then we pass the random characters, and then we pass in the dates. Now if we open the function, you can see it requires the auth ID, the token, and the token expiration. Okay, so this will set the properties in the database. And then next we need to create the reset link. Const, I'll call this reset link equal to, and then I will use config. We need to import config dot client URL / reset underscore password, and then I'll add token as a query param. Okay, random characters. Okay, so this is going to be the URL that the user will have to click on. Okay, then let us construct our email messages detail. Okay, that remember we will need to send or publish a message to the notification service. So this is going to be message details of type email message details. Okay, and then here we need receiver email. Receiver email is going to be existing user dot email, and then we need the reset link. We need the username, existing user dot username, and then we need the templates. So the name of the template is forgot password. Okay, and then we will use this. I'll say await publish direct message, and then we take in auth channel. Okay, I already explained all of this earlier. Okay, so this will be Jobber email notification. So this is the name of the exchange, then this is the name of the routing key, and then JSON.stringify message details, and then the log. I'll say forgot password message sent to notification service. Okay, and then lastly here we just call res.status codes dot OK200 dot JSON, and then we send a message, say password reset email sent. Okay, so with this function, once it is called, we are going to validate, check if the email in the request body matches what we expect. If not, it throws an error. If it does, we use the email to get the user document. If it does not exist, we throw an error. If it does, create some random characters, set add out 1 hour to the current date, and then use it to update this, call this update password token, and then we set this reset link, message details, and then we publish the direct message to the Jobber email notification exchange. Okay, so now let me go and add this to the routes. So here is going to be a put. I think verify email is a put. Yeah, I think I made a mistake. So make sure verify email is a put request or a put verb. Let me check that and be very sure. Yes, it's a put. Okay, that would have caused another bug. So here is going to be forgot dash password, and then we use the same method. Now we are going to have an issue here. Okay, because the method here is named create, and we already have a function named create. So what we can do is simple. I'll copy this. You can either rename it here. Okay, that is fine. You can easily rename this function here. Okay, or if you still want to use the same name as create, what you're going to do is here you can see it's using the same create method. In fact, let me let me just rename this. I'll call it create forgot password. Okay, so it's better, let me just name it this way, and then here I import it directly. Okay, because we already have a function named create, and then if you try to use create, there's going to be a conflict. Okay, so now I have the forgot password route. It's a push. It's using the put HTTP verb.